Hey everybody, ready to dive in. Today we're tackling a big one, something honestly we all think about. Can money really buy happiness? We're going to unpack this Time magazine article, gets right to the heart of it.
Yeah, talk about a question for the ages, right?
Yeah.
Philosophers have been going back and forth on this forever.
And the wild thing is, modern research actually has some pretty surprising things to say about it.
The article starts out, kind of hits you with this comparison. Since World War II, it points out, Americans, by and large, way more wealth, right? Bigger houses, more cars, gadgets and gizmos, the whole 9 yards. But here's the kicker. Happiness levels. Not so much. Yeah, it's like that saying, the hedonic treadmill. We get stuck in this thinking, if I just got that promotion or that new car, that bigger place to live, then I'd be happy, finally. But you know what usually happens? We get used to it. New normal, and then we're just looking for the next thing. Never quite there.
Always chasing that carrot, huh? Never really stopping to appreciate what we've got in the here and now.
Exactly. And one thing this article does really well, it makes this important difference, right? Material well-being versus psychological well-being. Like somewhere along the line, we all got sold this idea, more stuff equals more happiness. But the data, it just doesn't back that up. In fact, they talk about this rise in depression rates, even with all this material wealth, makes you think,
It really does. It challenges that whole more is always better idea, which, let's be honest, feels super relevant now, right? Consumer culture and all. So if it's not just about stacks of cash, what's the secret ingredient?
Well, the article, it gets into some really cool research. It turns out might be a magic number when it comes to how money and happiness connect.
Okay, magic number. Now you've got my attention. What's the magic formula?
So studies, what they've found is once someone hits around $10,000 a year, income adjusted for inflation and all that, the link between more money and more happiness, it kind of flatlines. Not that you're unhappy with more, but the impact, it just ain't as big.
Like reaching a level of, financial stability, I guess?
Yeah.
Your basic needs are covered, but after that, more zeros in the bank doesn't equal more joy, necessarily?
Exactly. It's those essentials, right? Food, a roof, feeling secure. You hit that, the whole game changes. It's wild. They even did studies, looked at the super rich. The Forbes 400 list, those folks.
You'd figure they'd be walking on sunshine all day long with that kind of money, right?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But even with them, just a tiny bump in happiness compared to your average person, that's what the data says.
Mind blown, officially. If it's not just about the digits in your account, then what's the deal?
The article, it calls it, get this, reference anxiety. Fancy way of saying keeping up with the Joneses.
Oh, tell me you haven't been sucked into that one. Social media, bam, suddenly you feel like you're slacking because your vacation doesn't look as good as someone else's.
Bingo. It's not even about what we actually need anymore. It's how our stuff, our life stacks up to everyone else's, both in the real world and online, which is a whole other can of worms. Like your 2-bedroom house probably feels just fine till the neighbors build an addition, right? And then boom, not enough, hits ya.
It's like we're on this, hamster wheel or something. You reach a certain level, feel good for a minute, then bam, on to the next thing. So how do we break free? Find that contentment, even if, let's face it, most of us aren't exactly rolling in it.
The $1 million question, right? And here's where the article, it takes this really interesting turn, gets into the power of, get this, expectations.
Expectations, okay. See, now that's getting a little less concrete than, cold, hard cash.
Yeah.
How does that play into this whole happiness equation?
Yeah. So it might seem kind of backward, but studies, what they show is feeling hopeful, optimistic, like things are looking UP in the future. That actually has a bigger impact on how happy we are compared to, our situation right now.
Wait, seriously, do you mean someone, say, making average money, but they're really positive about where they're headed? They could be happier than, some rich dude who's all bummed out about life?
You got it. Boils down to this idea. We got to feel like we're making progress, that we've got some control over where we're going. That feeling of moving forward, even little by little, that's powerful stuff. Does wonders for well-being.
So it's not just the bank balance, it's our mindset, our whole outlook on our own financial path.
That's wild. Exactly. And to bring it back down to earth, the article, it talks about the American middle class, right? Wages, they haven't really grown a ton lately for a lot of folks. And that leads to this, pessimism, frustration, even if, by all measures, they're doing okay financially.
I could see that. On paper, everything's fine. But if you feel stuck, like you're not getting ahead, yeah, That's got to mess with your outlook for sure. It's all perception.
Right on. Now, we've been talking about what money can't buy, right? But I'm going to be really, as a tool, important one.
For sure. No one's saying money doesn't matter, need it to survive, to feel safe, all that. But it's about remembering. It's a way to get things, not the thing itself.
100%. And I like how this article, it reminds us some of the best stuff in life, you just can't slap a price tag on it. Love, real connection with people, finding your purpose, feeling part of something bigger.
Like that saying, the best things in life are free. Going for a walk, having a good heart-to-heart, that feeling when you nail a tough project, those are the things that stick with you. And yeah, they're priceless.
Totally. And those are the experiences that shape us, way more than any fancy car or gadget ever could, you know?
It's so easy to forget that, especially these days. Everything's telling us we need more to be happy. This article, this whole conversation, it's like a good reality check.
It's about changing that mindset from, I need more, to look at all this good stuff I've already got.
So less chasing the next paycheck, the next thing to buy, and more appreciating what we have right here, right now.
Exactly. Doesn't mean we can't have goals, ambitions. It's about finding that balance. Content with today, but still reaching for something better. And remembering, true happiness, it ain't for sale.
Like we got to retrain our brains, stop chasing and start appreciating. Sounds easy enough, but man, it's tough in practice.
It is. That's where I think mindfulness comes in, really taking the time to appreciate the little things, the simple things. Could be a good meal, a pretty sunset, just laughing with your friends. Those little moments of gratitude, those can be powerful, I'm telling you. Shift your whole perspective.
It's like you got to savor those moments.
Yeah.
Right. Not let them get lost in the everyday craziness.
Exactly. This whole conversation, it reminds me of this study I read. They had people every day write down a few things they were grateful for.
Oh, yeah, like a gratitude journal, right.
Yeah.
Did it actually show that those folks ended up happier?
It did. Just taking a few minutes every day to think about what you're thankful for, that can make a real difference. It's like exercising, The more you use that gratitude muscle, the stronger it gets.
Training your brain to focus on the good stuff, which in this day and age, let's be honest, can feel like an uphill battle sometimes.
Oh, for sure. But the good news is it is something you can work on, cultivate. And get this, the benefits, they go way beyond just feeling happier. Gratitude, it's been linked to better physical health, stronger relationships, even bouncing back from tough times, being more resilient.
So it's not just about feeling warm and fuzzy inside. This gratitude thing, it's got real-world impact.
No doubt. And, it makes you think about the whole point of this article, right? Can money buy happiness? Sure, money, it can buy you some fun, some comfort. But that deep down, lasting happiness, the kind that comes from gratitude, from connecting with others, from finding your purpose, that's something money just can't touch.
Really makes you think. Maybe true wealth, it isn't about how much you earn, but about how rich your life is. The people you love, the things you're passionate about, even just appreciating the world around us.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. Really dug into this whole money-happiness connection.
We sure have.
So to everyone listening, here's something to chew on. What if, instead of always chasing that next paycheck, that next thing to buy, what if we spent more time cultivating the things that truly matter, the things that bring lasting joy? Something to think about as you go about your day. Until next time, everybody.